Sarah here. Hey, this is the first of many Productively Present lives, Productively Present Program lives, PPP lives for short. I am sitting here in my kitchen, my new kitchen, in the only spot that's clean because over the last 3 days I've been moving. And that's why I'm excited to launch this new series with you, because the reason I'm so good at creating systems that are sustainable for myself as well as other moms is because I move a lot, or used to move. In fact, I'm hoping, I gotta shut something off here. I'm hoping that this is my forever home. So I want to tell you a little bit about that before I tell you what the PPP lives are going to do for you, because it really is something that's going to help you out in a really big way. So I've been married to a Marine for 13 years and we've moved a lot. And so it's always been my dream to have a permanent home where I didn't have to move anymore. And that dream has become a reality just recently. So I'm now in Utah, which is one of my dream states to live in my dream home I can't wait to show you many, many cooking videos and tutorials for things like that on my new stove in my new kitchen. But what I want to talk to you about is why I created the Productively Present program and how these PPP lives are going to help you. So whenever I move, I have to completely throw out my past routines and create new routines. For the average mom, and I am not meaning that as an insult to any of you, for the average mom, that is a nightmare. And it used to be that way for me too, until I figured out how to apply all of my productivity training and things like from my corporate background into my mom life. Until I learned how to implement all of those things, it was kind of a nightmare for me too. But when you have one kid and you start creating sustainable systems, it doesn't seem quite so challenging. And then you add a second kid and you're like, oh crap, I really don't know what I'm doing. How do I have 2 babies and figure out all of mom life? So because I've just moved and because this is going to be my forever home with my kiddos, I am going to be walking through the Productively Present program myself because it works. And I'm going to show you a behind the scenes of how the Productively Present program helps me get my family into a routine and get things in tip-top shape. Okay, so some things that are happening for us. We have a homeschool co-op type activity that we do 1 day a week, and then we do all of our schooling at home. I also run 2 businesses from home, on the go, from my phone, wherever I can fit it in, with a very specific system that allows me to maintain a level of income that supports my family entirely. And I also, in the apartment that I just moved out of, so let me tell you about that. For 6 months, I lived in an apartment expecting to move into my home that I was going to build, but the housing market has been so insane that I gave up on that idea and found a brand new home that was already done. And obviously I moved in faster than 2 years, right? So in that apartment, I could not figure out how to get into a healthy eating system because the space was so small. For one, the stove was so tiny that my pan that feeds a family my size wouldn't fit on the stove. So I wasn't about to cook meals in 2 pans. So we didn't have the best diet while we were there. We ate as healthy as we could with takeout and prepared meals like Kevin's Naturals. I'm going to tell you all about that in this kitchen. There's some hacks I did learn. I'm going to pass those on to you. But I'm going to be resetting our entire diet, like our lifestyle. I don't mean like diet, like lose weight diet. I just mean how we eat. I'm going to be resetting that because we have an all-day co-op, so we need to have lunchbox meals. And I have been, since I'm I'm nearing 40, I have found that eating more protein is essential to achieving the muscle gain that I want. So I do care about my macros right now. I've always just kind of focused on a healthy, clean eating lifestyle, but I'm adding more macro awareness. I don't track and count macros, but I'm going to be incorporating some of that. So I need a meal planning system, and I'm going to start over because finding where to shop and how to source the cleanest foods, I don't have a lot of time for that. So I'm going to get into a system with that as well. And I'll be sharing how I do that. So we've got homeschool, we've got entrepreneurship, and we've got clean eating. We also have to talk about household routines for keeping the house clean and incorporating my children, because I do expect a lot from my kids because we homeschool. I want their help. I need their help. We spend a lot of time in the home and also out of the home, but the time we spend in the home is cooking and making messes and doing school stuff. So we all have to pitch in and we have to have a system. So I have a system for myself, and the kids are going to have a system for themselves. And in the apartment, we let all that go. So for 6 months, we've pretty much gone wild. I just cleaned out the apartment today, and I can tell you, you can tell that I didn't clean. You can tell that I didn't clean as well as I normally would. So all of that taught me a lot of things. So I'll be creating a new cleaning system here in this home. Okay, so those are the main systems that I will be creating with you, showing you how I adopt my Productively Present program framework for my own life. Because if I can't do it for myself, then obviously how could I teach you? And I've been doing it for many, many years. So this is the first time where I'm going to be setting up my own systems from scratch and showing you how I do it every single week. Okay, so with that being said, let me kind of talk to you about how I get started in that. Okay, so for the very first step is something in my program called Becoming Supermom. And it talks about how society has shunned mothers' ideals. Okay, so in a way, the high achieving mother's ideals. Okay, so there's kind of that saying like, the babies won't keep, but the dust bunnies will, or something. And that boils my blood, because that is telling a mother that if she's striving for high achievement, that she's in the wrong and she's clearly not tending to her children. And I disagree with that so much that's why I named my brand Crunchy Supermom, because I'm a natural-minded mom and I believe that Supermom is real. She's not an action figure. It is a belief. It is a level of achievement that we want to strive for, not because we want medals or ribbons or whatever, any kind of accolades. It's because we want to run our homes in a way that promotes like just a happy home, right? We want to be super present for our kids. We want to feed them the healthiest we can. We want to spend as much time with them in the schooling arena, whether that's schooling outside of the home or schooling inside the home. It doesn't matter. We want to be present for that. And a lot of us want to do something more. I have noticed that a lot of the women I work with, and I'm probably speaking to you right now, had a career in the past or had a dream of something that you wanted to do for yourself. And so that becoming more than just a mom is a big deal. Okay. So in the Becoming Supermom first mission, we get really, really clear on what you want. What does your everyday look like? What's your ideal day? Maybe you find out that you're a mom who really doesn't care if the house is spotless. You just need to have it tidy, or the floors just have to be clean. You don't care about the counters. It doesn't matter. You get really, really clear on what you want in each area, each pillar of motherhood. Like, do you need more relationships? Do you need more friends? Do you need to spend more time with your spouse? Do you need to spend less time with your spouse, more time with your children? Like, what is it? Do you need to be working out more? Do you need to improve your diet? Do you need to clean your house, less clean house? Where are you spending your time, and how do you want to spend your time? Because what's your ultimate goal today, in 30 days, in a year, 5 years, when your children leave the home? Like, what is your vision of life? And yes, it gets really, really deep, because you have to decide what you want out of life. You only get one of them, and the way you spend your day every day adds up. So you want to be moving yourself forward to that vision. We focus on that. So I'm going to be doing that this entire week. I'll be focusing on that, because while I would love to completely set up my house right now and get us going on our meals, I'm actually going to Mexico in like 3 days. So I'm not even going to go there and start my very first mission, which is the time budgeting mission. And in fact, for me, instead of focusing on time, which is what you would do in the Productively Present program, I'm going to be focusing on food, because I know that as soon as I get back from Mexico, I'm going to be hitting the ground running with our co-op, and we have to have good quality, high protein, high sustaining meals for the kids while we're out of the house all day long. So going to get clear on my vision and what I want out of life, because I just achieved one of my biggest goals, and that was to get a forever home that I absolutely love. And I need to go back to the drawing board and look at my old dreams and my old vision plans and figure out what I want. And this is what you should do too right now. Like, if you want to do this with me, Go and figure out what you want out of life, what you're doing now, what's working, what's not working, what bugs you the most, like what's the weakest area in your life, what's the happiest area in your life, and get clear on that. And then we'll meet back here and I'll talk to you about my meal planning, because that's going to be the first thing I do. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit about time, not a little bit, a lot about time, because the time budgeting is it's the foundation that you will build all of your sustainable systems on. You'll build your meal planning on it, your cleaning, your entrepreneurship, your more than just a mom, your fitness, everything. You will build everything on your time budget. And it's not time blocking. I know it's similar to time blocking, but it is so different at the same time. It's kind of extreme and doable, okay? Because as moms, it has to be sustainable or we're not going to do it. So that's just the first few steps in the Productively Present program. And for you, if you're sitting here listening, yes, you can join in every single week and you can see how I'm doing what I'm doing, and you can make those changes in your life as well. Or you can make the decision to completely do something different, do something for yourself and your family. Jump into the Productively Present program before I get back from Cabo, which is basically our next meeting will be the very first Wednesday in September, because we meet weekly. Not only do I give you 5 to 10 minutes of homework whenever you want to do it, you don't have to do it every day, but each time you do an assignment, it's 5 to 10 minutes long. You will take those assignments and come to the weekly calls where we do open calls, open coaching. Okay, you get to ask all the questions. I usually go around the room and ask everybody for an update. What are they working on? What struggles are they having? What routine did they come up with? How did it work for them? And we just work on it together. So you can follow along here with the PPP lives and get a lot of value out of that. Or you can make a very big decision and decide that this next school year, from August to May, is going to be the best one yet, and join us. Okay. And it is, there is a $250 off right now till I get basically till the end of the month. So you want to jump in there and do that. And when we get back together as the PPP group, so I think it's September 1st, I need to double check, but when we get back, we are doing as many hours as it takes call where we will plan out September together and make it as productive as we can. And then after September's over, we're going to reconvene. I mean, we meet every single week, but at the end of September, we'll have a special meeting where we get together, look at September, what went well, what didn't get done, and we'll make an even better October plan, because that's what the system is. This Productively Present program system is based on teaching you life skills, not just giving you a cookie cutter routine, but you'll get some of those too. You will get some of my instant gratification routines to go and basically inject time into your day by following the routines that I've already figured out for other people that work really, really well when you're first getting into the program. And then from there, you're going to have to learn how to build your own system that fits for your family. And I teach you how to do that. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. I'm excited to do this because I've really never shown people how I set up my system, because I'm good at it. And I feel like it's a little scary when people see just how much I'm able to accomplish in a day and how much free time I do actually have. So I see here, Melissa, my friend Mo here, she says, I need a brain makeover. Do you have a special program for the ADHD brain? So funny. So whatever we focus on and is, we focus on the wrong things a lot of times as moms. We don't focus on the activities that move us forward. And that's why that becoming supermom mission is so important, because you teach yourself to ask for every yes that you're about to make, every yes you're about to say, is this going to move me forward in that big vision that I just created, that map, that dream, whatever it is that I just laid out? Is this one thing right here going to move me forward? Or is this just a distraction? Is this like a bump in the road that's going to derail me and take me off the wrong direction? One of the biggest skills you'll learn in the beginning is how to determine that. It sounds so simple, but as moms, we're the yes, of course, absolutely, I'll do everything person. We're the caretaker. We give and give and give, and we never really think about how that's actually taking away from our bigger vision. So I'm looking forward to this. I will be back in time for Monday. I will actually come back from Mexico on Sunday, and I will be back here live again to talk about my big vision and what I'm doing with it. And I'll talk a little bit about how I'm getting set up for meal planning. Okay. So if you have any questions at all about the Productively Present program, send me a message. Okay. Whether it's on Facebook at the Crunchy Supermom, or you can go to my profile, Sarah Harding. It's linked to the page. You can find me on Instagram. However you want to send me a message, just send me a message and ask questions, or you can email me, Sarah, it's Sarah at crunchysupermom.com, and get your questions answered, because this program has been life-changing for pretty much everyone that's ever put the time into it. And it's not a course. I mean, there's lessons, but I want to emphasize that it's not a course. If you could go back to school, you probably would go back to school for a degree or some kind of certificate or something fun. But this is micro lessons that will teach you life skills to be productively present today, in the future, when you have another baby, unexpectedly, you get a puppy, whatever, kids are home with some kind of virus, it doesn't matter. You will learn how to roll with those punches, because there's so many skill-based lessons in the program. All right, so I will see you next week.